So Dax, I was just listening to Joe Rogan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Joe Rogan has Kevin Smith on one of his latest shows. I don't know if it's his latest show or just one of the latest. And I didn't get to see it all. I was just watching as I was setting this all up. And Joe's explaining why he didn't go do the new Jay and Silent Bob reboot. He says he's too busy, which I'm not, I can't argue with that. I don't know Joe's life. But then he explains why he's too busy. And you know what it is? Too much streaming. He's got 6 streams this week, my friend.
Oh, God.
6 streams. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He is Dax O'Ryan. And I hope you're having a good, what day is this? Wednesday?
Yes.
Having a good Wednesday. How you doing, Dax?
Oh, I'm good.
I'm still sitting here. 6. Fucking 6. That's like 2 days. The fuck are you talking about, man? And he's healthy. He's healthy. Oh, like that just made me laugh. I've got 6 streams this week.
Oh, like, my God.
I do that in 2 days, seriously.
And he's like, he can't pre-record any of this or just say, hey, we're going to give you a guest guy while I go out and do this for a week.
I mean, and look, like I said, I don't know his life. The rest of it may be incredibly busy. I just thought that part was funny.
Hilarious.
I have 6 streams this week. Like, shut up. Go sit in the corner. Yeah, I'm going to go tell Joe Rogan to sit in the corner. And just beat my cripple ass. Put me in a rear naked choke. Are you a fan of the I was going to call it WWE, but that's not what it is. The Ultimate Fighting.
Not so much. I mean, I'll watch a match occasionally, but I'm not super into hugging.
What is it now? UFC? UFC.
Yeah, Ultimate Fighting Champions or something.
I'd get around there eventually. Yeah, I miss the old days when they were strikers more than grapplers.
Grapplers are boring to watch. Sorry.
They are. I agree with you. That's why the WWE is the way it is. They hype it up as a telenovela.
Yeah.
And to make all the hugging more interesting.
Yeah, because hugging is less dangerous than, getting punched. So
yeah, and again, these are amazing athletes. Don't get me wrong. Any one of them.
They fly through the air and they land on their heads and stuff. I absolutely have respect for them.
And UFC as well. These guys, I mean, those guys are fucking strong.
Yeah.
You ever put somebody in a bear hug before and wrestled with them? Just that, not even trying to get them into some other move that will wear you out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I have tremendous respect for the athletes, but yeah, I just can't watch it. It's just like, oh, look, they're hugging again. I'm gonna get a burger. Go do something manly. No, that's not fair. That's not fair. But no, I do have respect for the athletes, but I can't watch. It's just, give me boxers. At least then I know somebody's getting punched in the face. So Dax, I told people I was going to do a Monkey in the Morning when I woke up, and I basically am. I woke up at noon today. I went to bed last night at about 3 a.m, and I woke up when Lady Monkey came in the bedroom to get dressed to go out, and I would have sworn it was like 8 a.m. I was like, oh man, I got to get up and do a show. And I rolled over and looked at the clock. I was like, well, hell, I slept last night. It's a weird side effect of whatever sickness I had last week. I seem to be able to sleep for a moment, and I'm going to enjoy it while I can. But that might mean that if I put off Monkey in the Morning till the morning, it'll have to be morning for like Hawaii. You guys will be fine. Don't worry. That's why it's called Anytime. I'm still thinking about rebranding, man. Monkey Anytime seems like a less controversial.
You could still use MITAM because you could use like Monkey in the Any Morning, maybe, or something like that. You can keep MITAM somehow.
In the any moment.
In the any moment. I was going to say moment. That's what I had in my head, and then I said morning anyway, like an idiot. Yes, I agree. Monkey in the any moment.
Monkey in the any moment. And remember, people, that means if you're about to climax, that's an awesome time to think of monkey, especially if you're a woman.
Isn't that the only way?
Shit, I should have saved that joke for another 5 minutes in. Hi, YouTube. So whichever bastard got stuck listening to me for this stream, because I know I'm going to have to challenge it. Hi, hope you're well. Give your mom a hug for me. Tell her I said hi, because I'm sure she's a fan. By the way, by the way, YouTube, who's listening, tell your friends, your family, that bitch you hate about the show. Get them here. Be a lot of fun. Oh my goodness. So, actually, I woke up and did what I always do. I start planning for the show. Believe it or not, guys, I do plan for the show sometimes. Sometimes.
He does.
I do. I go and I look at the news. Well, I don't know if it's really. I go and look at the Twitter, which to me is the best news feed in the world. Now, don't get me wrong. It is not the best source of news. Right. It is the best news feed. It is the best news ticker. At like the ticker is the thing you see at the bottom of the screen as you watch like CNN. I wonder how many people know that hasn't always been that way. The ticker on CNN, that kind of thing, was not always there. That came in. That was 9/11 that gave us that. Before that, it was just the people on the news. And then 9/11 came and everybody wanted all kinds of facts immediately. And so they started the news tickers. I may have that wrong. It may have been a bigger story, but I swear it was 9/11. Anyway, good morning, Nuts. How are you, sweetheart? That's what I use Twitter for. Well, that and, of course, Bants. Is that what the kids call it? The Bants?
Yeah, I guess.
Fucking with people, talking shit. That's a fun part of Twitter too, but mostly I use it for a newsfeed, and I see what's being talked about, and then I go look at that, and so this is one that greeted me this morning. This one deserves to be put on screen. And see this, Joe? I don't even have a producer. I do my shows without a producer. How you like that? I got 6 shows this week. Fucking bullshit.
What the hell is that?
My friend's 7th grader goes to school where the kids organized for free tampons in the bathroom. The male principal said no because they would, quote, abuse the privilege.
Which they would.
The kids decided to stage a cookie protest. Behold the cookie or the tampon cookie.
It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
The tampon cookie. Yeah.
Proud Texan mom. Ugh.
Now look, my objection to the things in the bathroom is, I mean, if they can afford it, fine. They should at least have some in the nurse's office for the girls who start when they didn't realize they were going to. They're girls. They're just starting, this 7th grade. So
I agree with that. Having a couple on hand is always a good idea, but he's right though. They're going to abuse the hell of it, just as they abuse anything that's free. It's like, take 1 sticker. I'm going to take 12.
But I just love that they're getting back at men these days by making everything not just gynocentric, period-centric.
Yeah.
Menstruocentric.
Get comfortable with it. We do it. It's natural.
Would it be okay? Would they be celebrating? Would they be celebrating if the boys had demanded free condoms and they said no, and so they made cum cookies?
I would love to see somebody make a cum cookie.
Well, it would be a dick shape with a whole bunch of frosting just at the one end. I'd probably eat that before I'd eat these period cookies because I'm not quite sure what all that is.
Yeah, I don't know what the string is. Is that frosting? Send me the picture.
Yeah, I can send you the tweet here.
Sounds good.
I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, Mustafa, we're not talking about icky cookies. It's a completely different thing.
Yeah, these are okay. So That's the tampon cookie. That's what I woke up to, man. The tampon cookie as a protest. What the hell kind of protest is a cookie?
I think those are actual string.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
So wait, is that? Yeah, that's just gross.
What the hell kind of protest is a cookie? Like, you told us no, so we're gonna eat cookies that look like tampons.
And they don't even really look that great as tampons. I mean,
No.
that's just weird.
Oops. I have some stuff falling around me. Sorry about that. But it is amazing to me that that's where they went. And they didn't make clean tampons. No. If you notice, those are bloody tampons.
Yeah, it's really gross.
But that's okay. They're cookies, so you can eat it.
I'm not going to eat it.
No, from Keebler.
Well, it's better than like a butt tampon because that's what the double fudge cookies would be.
Sure. The double fudge. That sounds like it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Because I think we're still on our first 10 minutes. Oh no, we passed it. So
yeah, we're good. That's why I made the joke. We might be okay.
I don't pay attention to that anyway. Thank you, Sir Wolfgang, who says honk honk with Clown World. Indeed. Clown World, honk honk. Do you think it was the girl's idea?
It was the mother's idea.
Yeah, I would bet. It's like, sweetie, if they won't give you free tampons, how about we take the money we could have paid to buy you tampons and buy the stuff to make cookies?
Oh, well, here's part of the thing. After a minor bit of research, and I mean that by hovering over her profile, she's the president of NARAL, a pro-choice American group.
Yeah, I'm aware of who they are.
Yeah, I was not. So,
NARAL. Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, so definitely not the kid's idea unless she's been brainwashed, in which case it's still not her idea.
Jamie asked in chat, do they offer free tampons to boys? Probably. Dax, I need some help here. Just any kind of help. What in the hell kind of protest do you have with a cookie? Do you like wait till the principal's walking by and then eat them? Like, ooh, look at our period, because let's be honest, these are period cookies. They're not just tampon cookies.
Really are. Disguised as just tampon cookies. No, we all know what that red filling is supposed to be.
Yeah, and I'm the part that I'm curious. Okay, this is getting too nasty. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm very curious about this because you have the breading, which you would imagine is the cookie part, right? But that's got to be part of the tampon. So the brown is the tampon. And then you have the red, which we all know what that is. What's the white?
Yeah, I was curious about that. Maybe unsullied, but wouldn't that part go in first based on where the string are?
Well, no. They have that right with the string, I think, from what I remember. I closed it because I don't want to look at that shit.
Yeah, I closed it too.
But it's this is what our kids are spending their time on.
Oh my God.
Protest cookies. Oh God.
No, they're in the wrong way, dude.
Are they?
Yeah.
The string should be coming from the white side.
Yeah, but they're not.
Oh no. Yeah, the string should. Then I don't know what the hell that is. Maybe it's foam from being mad women.
They're frothing at the veg.
They're frothing at the veg. Oh dear Christ!
I'm so glad I was on for this.
Oh yeah. Again, still what I woke up to.
It's mucus. Thanks, Foxy.
Who said that?
Foxy. Damn it.
Go sit down. In the corner, Foxy. Oh, it's too early for mucus. Which is a strange thing because I need you to talk for just a second, Dax.
Yeah, I don't know if any woman frosts like that, but if they do, they should probably get checked out. There might be something growing in there that isn't a child. So, yeah, get checked, girls. Get checked.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's the ovum or whatever the egg is called. That's the Downsy egg. Okay, moving on. We got a lot of girly stuff today, Dax.
Hooray!
The next one is my girlfriend lives life as a kitty cat and I'm her master.
Huh.
Yeah, it's time for another picture.
Yay.
Yay. This story comes to us from the Post, and I didn't even go pick it up. It was just on my Twitter this way. There they are. Kitty and Master.
Pretty sure I've never seen a kitty wear a schoolgirl outfit, but okay.
No, man. She's a kitty cat.
I mean, if she says so.
Now, I don't care about your fetishes. I really don't, which is why I don't understand why they're on my screen. But Johnny Hellcat, thank you so much. Smothered the Downsy egg with the tampon pillow. There you go. There you go.
Solving the problem.
One I didn't know existed. Jordan Peterson. Yeah, that guy kind of does look like him, doesn't he? A little more masculine, and that's not being mean to Jordan. He's just not a masculine guy, really.
No, he really does look like a professor.
He does, yeah. He looks like the kind of guy that's going to give you opinions instead of solutions, which is odd because he did tell you to clean your room, which is kind of a solution.
Is it a final solution?
You stop it. You're going to go sit in the corner.
Oh.
This guy has a kinky case of cat scratch fever. Rob Berg. That's I don't know how Robrecht.
Sure.
That's Robert, right? Rob Berg, 52, an aerospace engineer from Colorado, is head over kitten heels for a woman who that's what it says, who identifies as a feline. They go on. I'm going to feel silly saying this part, but it's what's written. Quote, "You're being so shy," he says with a giggle as his real-life Catwoman, Cat Lyons, laps up a bowl of milk while perched atop their kitchen table. "Oh, she looks good on the table. That's real cute." This sounds like bad fan fiction.
It really does. Also, you're not supposed to feed like cream and milk to cats. It's not good for them.
No, if you give cats milk, it's a tiny, tiny bit.
Yeah.
Because they do love it, but yeah, it will destroy their intestines. The self-proclaimed sci-fi geek met Lyons, 31, at Comic-Con 8 months ago. This is doing great things for the Comic-Con community.
No joke.
He soon discovered she works at Catgirl Manor, a club in Colorado Springs, Colorado, that hosts pet play for BDSM events. Instead of clutching his imaginary pearls, that's the part I think of this article is like, go fuck yourself. Because when I heard pet play, and I'm like this, I'm sorry. I judge. If you're pretend banging a horse or a cat or a dog or whatever your partner wants to dress up as, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
And I feel no shame telling you it's fucking weird. I don't feel like I'm a prude for telling you that's fucking weird. But anyway, instead of clutching his imaginary pearls, Rob grabbed a leash, quote, to be experimental and try new things.
Yeah.
I want to get down to where she talks about, because she talks, by the way, guys. Oh, well, no, hang on. She doesn't talk. Let me read this. "I've always been different. She purrs." No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. I just always had a fascination with cats. People are like, "You're not really a cat." I feel like I am, though. I am a cat.
But you're not.
But you're not. You're not. You want to play as one. You wish you were one, but you're not.
It's called make-believe. We all get to imagine we're something else once in a while.
"The struggle of being a cat girl is keeping your ears up perfectly," Kat says, while perusing her collection of kitten ears, tails, and leashes and collars. You know, You know, real cats, they don't get to change their ears.
Nor do they
or
get
their
to talk.
tails. This is not just dress up for me. It's an everyday thing for me. That doesn't make it not dress up. Now, look, again, I don't give a fuck. If this crazy bitch wants to do this, that's fine. Why is it in the news?
Slow news morning.
I didn't go after her. This shit popped up in my timeline as I was looking at news.
We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Landed on us. Crazy kitty bitch landed on me. I grew up and had to pretend to be normal, you know, Kat says. But now I get to be myself. I am a kitten. If I want to climb on something, I can. If I want to drink out of a little bowl, I can.
I want to see her break all the furniture.
You know, she could have done this if she wanted to. At any time. You don't have to pretend to be a cat if you just want to climb on top of your own furniture. Now, your parents might have told you to stay the fuck off their table because they didn't want you to break it. But you're a grown-ass adult. Have as much as you want around your house that you climb up on and purr.
They probably didn't want her sitting on the table because of all those period cookies.
Probably. She get hair in them.
Yeah.
Toasted Network, thank you. My Twitter is suspended. What should I do? I'm guessing depressed. I don't know.
Times.
Go play on Facebook. There you go.
It's an untapped market.
I'm really a cat. You know, I want to make believe as a cat. That's fine.
Sure.
But I am a cat. This is the kind of shit that people warned about with the trans thing. And I'm not, this isn't to denigrate trans people. It's not. But the transgender thing where I just kind of feel like a boy today. This is that shit. This is that shit. Now, I feel like a cat. And what if I see this bitch walking through the mall on a leash with her man, am I supposed to pretend she's I'm just going to laugh. I'm serious if I saw something like that.
How dare you? She is a rural cat with rural feelings.
No, she's not. She's a crazy bitch who probably needs some therapy. And I'm betting, I will bet you money, she does not know her daddy very well.
Oh, I'm guaranteeing she doesn't. Or she did know her daddy too well.
And this is the kind of shit that makes people look at like gender dysphoria and go, see, it's not real. Because people like this use it as a way to, I don't want to say masquerade. I want to say justify their own kink. Because that's what this is, a kink. She wants a guy to treat her like a cat, and I'm guessing she puts her tail up as he bangs her from behind. This is nonsense. This is nonsense. And once again, I didn't go looking for this shit, guys. I didn't go look to make fun of this lady. This is a story in the New York Post, which you guys know I read all the time, but I follow them on Twitter, and this is one of the stories that they popped up on Twitter today. I'm like, oh, for the love of fuck. But Monkey, if your wife wore nothing but cat ears and a tail and purred as you humped her, you'd find it hot. Don't lie. I might play once or twice, but if my wife decided she was a kitten, I'd be like, we got to put mom in therapy, y'all. Mom's going to a home.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet Lady Monkey wouldn't embrace the idea of being a cat. Being a cat for a half hour, is not the same as thinking, hey, I'm going to wake up and have some kibble.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can have whatever sex play you want, but your sex play is not your life.
Right. You should. Well, at least it shouldn't be, unless that's your business and you work in Amsterdam or something.
I love that thing. I was always a cat and had to pretend to be normal. No, you have that backwards. You're always normal and you're pretending to be a cat. Well, I don't want to say she's normal.
Yeah, you're ruining it for all the other normies.
Crazy bitch.
Real felines. Peter, shut up.
No, Doctor, no. It's not that she thinks she's Catwoman. She thinks she is a cat. Anyway, I love her name. What was it? Cat Lions. By the way, that's cat with a K.
Wow.
And lions with a Y. Why not just CATLIONS? Or make it real, switch the O and the I around in cat loins, because that's what you really reminds me of the adult baby people. Yeah. I mean, it's nonsense anyway. Anyway.
I mean, do I take her to a hospital then, or do I take her to the vets?
I don't
know. And if I drop her from a high area, like on her back, is she going to flip and land on her feet?
Well, I think you should try that.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. That'll prove whether or not you're a cat.
I feel like a cat. I don't care. How the fuck do you know what a cat feels like?
Right.
Do you sleep 18 hours a day, chick? She might, because
she might very well.
Maybe that's why she's happy to have met old Rob. He'll pay her bills now. She can just sleep all day.
That's what I saw when I looked at that picture. It's like, there's something a little odd about this.
Yeah, she found a daddy.
Exactly.
Because he's 52, but she don't look older than 30. Not even close.
Yeah.
But she did have a little Asian in there, so it's hard to tell. And no, I'm not being racist. That's just fact.
No, they're young until they hit like 50, and then they drop.
And then they're old.
Yeah.
They're fucking up the RP, though. Cats don't have masters. That is true, Adindro. Cats, very few of them would put up with such a situation.
I know my cats don't do what I want them to.
She'd be like, come here, and she'd be like, fuck you. I'm going to go over there. And then when he didn't want her around, like he's trying to read a paper, she'd come lay on it.
I wonder how long it takes for him to get like absolutely just annoyed with her and like, again, throw her from like the window.
Well, look. I'll get myself in trouble here.
Probably.
The kind of guy who is going to go for that is the kind of guy who desperately needs female attention.
Yeah.
And he's found a woman that he will have her attention constantly as long as he plays the game. As long as he plays the game, she is going to be there. He's not going to have to worry about her going and looking anywhere else because he's into her kink. So she's going to feel safe with him. So, yeah, I mean, they'll be around for a long time. I wonder if she poops on his bed.
Oh, God. Pees in his shoes.
Yeah, I wonder if he had a litter box trainer.
I wonder if she has a litter box.
I wonder if she licks her own ass.
She also needs to stop talking, just in general.
And yeah, she shouldn't be speaking at all. Cats don't have masters, they have servants. Exactly, Maniac Man. Exactly. She's probably got worms. Grant, you're probably not wrong.
No.
The other thing I read this morning, and again, it's female centric. You ever heard the term the final girl?
The final girl? No.
The Final Girl it's a book. And it comes from a book. It's called Men, Women, and the Chainsaws: Gender in the Modern Horror Film. And it's the Final Girl is the girl who lives in old school horror movies. It's Nancy from
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare. Thank you. It's Laurie from Halloween. It's many different chicks in Friday the 13th. It's because there were so many of them. One girl would be the last one, or at least she would be the main person we watched that survived.
Got it. Yeah, Chaos just said that as you said it. And like, now I get it. All right.
Yeah, so it's the idea that it's not just the idea, it's about that. Toasted said, nobody uses Facebook. I need Twitter to contact people. Toasted, I don't know what to tell you. I thank you for the donation, but I don't know what to tell you. Be careful what you say on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm surprised I'm not banned. I'm really surprised.
I'm actually surprised I haven't gotten in trouble a few times recently. The one time I was kind of on the fence because I'm like, I'm talking about an elected figure, so technically I should be allowed to do it. But the other time I was just like, oof. It's a good thing that person had a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's how you have to be. Excuse me. So sorry. Well, Anyway, about this final girl. This lady has written an article here, and it seems mostly designed to shill 3 of her favorite movies, which the movies themselves are You're Next, Ready or Not, and Satanic Panic.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, she says that the new final girl, she's no longer the vaginal. Whoops. She's no longer the virginal girl who just happens to, stay alive during the whole movie. And fighting a monster. No. She is fighting rich people.
Dun, dun, dun.
The real evil. She's got to go out there and let's see. Like her predecessors, this new final girl is subjected to increasingly more horrifying physical and psychological torment, her body becoming a spectacle as she battles the evil around her. She's torn apart and bloodied, transformed into something almost unrecognizable, but her injuries are merely physical reminders of the pain the rich continually inflict on the poor. Not in the movie, but that the rich continually inflict on the poor. I know as a poor person, rich people come around and kick my ass daily.
Dr. No says, is this girl supposed to be AOC?
I don't know. Oh, Jesus, man. I just read this and I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily disagree that maybe that's what the movies are intending for. But there's a reason that I have to look these names up. You're Next, Ready or Not, and Satanic Panic don't have the same kind of name recognition as the 3 movies that were mentioned earlier in her article: Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Alien. Do you think 20 years from now people are going to be like, oh man, You're Next, that was such a great flick. We need everybody to sit down. Oh, maybe we should remake it. It was so great.
I mean, the title's okay because you got titles like House on the Left and stuff like that. But
it's Sinatra, you dick. Thank you so much. Who says I didn't know your stairs were rich?
Tell your stairs they owe me $1.
You're an asshole. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe they were made by rich people. My stairs were made to kick my ass because I'm poor. That's not the button I wanted. That's the button I wanted. But yeah, those were the 3 stories. Now, there's a lot of people in chat wanting me to talk about Epstein because somebody else came out today and said that Epstein's injuries look more like murder than suicide. We knew that.
Yeah,
it was said before.
It's a non-issue. We've been aware of this since the moment they said suicide, and when we already knew.
But the thing is, if you read what was said, it's these injuries are more consistent with strangulation, homicidal strangulation rather than suicide by hanging. But again, it's not always. It's not always, and that was the problem when it was first said, is that it isn't always. I didn't even read through the article, but let me guess. The hyoid bone. The hyoid. Because that was the one that was brought up early on. The hyoid bone was broken, and that is usually from strangulation.
Right.
But it was immediately poo-pooed by the people who were like, no, he killed himself. And there's no knowing. Now, I want to throw this out there. I think Epstein was killed.
Me too.
I find there are too many coincidences about how he died for him to have been able to commit suicide the way he did. Diesel Dave, thank you. They do, it's called Silco? Is that how I say that? Silco? Kilco?
Sounds good to me, Silco.
But yeah, the whole thing with this, they're never going to be able to prove Epstein was killed. They just can't, because nobody, well, except for the murderer, was in there with him. You'd need somebody who was in on it to come clean.
How about the sleeping guards?
You had the sleeping guards. You had the cameras that just happened to be being fixed at that time, which is amazing that Epstein knew about that.
Yeah.
You have the fact that the testimony had just come out the day before, I think it was, from the trials with the girl who named names. Specifically, I believe it was Prince Andrew and some of the relations that happened. All of this comes together at one time for a weird coinkydink of him suddenly killing himself. When all this stuff, or when most of it was already known. But yeah, nobody knows what happened, but we can theorize. Absolutely, we can. But we did it at the time, or at least I did, because the hyoid was known at the time. That was in the coroner's report, if I remember correctly. I remember at the time they were like, "Oh, hyoid bone broken," which again is a big indicator of outside influence. Okay.
I gotta look this up.
So yeah, I'm not saying he was. I'm not backing the official story because I find it to be utter nonsense that all of this, the fact that his roommate, or sorry, is it not a roommate? It's a cellmate at this point, right? His cellmate had been moved out of the cell just a couple of days before, the day before, and somebody who had been on suicide watch as he was that recently was not supposed to be without a cellmate. Yeah, there are too many coincidences here at work. Just too many. I saw an article today saying his brother hired a private coroner that said it was a homicide. And again, that's his opinion. And that was my opinion at the time. There's too many things that happen here. Now, there's also allegedly, I have to say this, allegedly,
yeah.
Allegedly, people in the prison nearby enough to have done it heard screaming at the time. So, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that it was like really weird about this, and again, that could have just been somebody who was what's the word I'm looking for attention. Like, no, look, I was there, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But yeah, has Queen Elizabeth disowned and booted Prince Harry and Meghan Markle from the royal family? That's the premise of the cover story from one of this week's magazines. Oh, the Enquirer.
Yeah.
The front page of the National Enquirer declares royal family disowns Harry and Meghan. It also asserts the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have been banished to Malta by the Queen, who's fed up with them. Inside the supermarket tabloid, it's immediately claimed the two have been booted out of the royal family because of their behavior, disregard for protocol, and tension with Prince William and Kate Middleton. Wow.
I'm not surprised.
Well, there's no reason to boot them out. You just move them to Malta or something. Where you're now the Duke of the Falkland Islands. Go live down there.
Go falk yourself.
Her Majesty secretly summoned both couples to her private quarters and raked Meghan and Harry over the coals. And to make its tale sound legitimate, the often discredited publication quotes so-called a palace aide saying, quote, Her Majesty was incensed. Sure. They kicked out Harry and Meghan.
I was very incensed.
I had heard that there was some tension between Harry and William. There was an article the other day where Harry was saying, yeah, look, we're brothers, so we love each other, but as family, sometimes we fight. I didn't pay much attention to it because it's the royal family. Have you ever been a big fan of the royal family, Dax?
Not since the Diana days.
I never have. I've never understood it. Even in the Diana days, I was always like, we're Americans. We're not supposed to care about that British royal shit. In fact, We told the British royals to go fuck themselves. We literally did. We fought a war to tell them to go fuck themselves. Monkey doesn't appreciate Megan's radiant beauty. Look, Adindro. That's an ugly bitch. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's an ugly bitch. He gets mad at me for calling her that, but she is. She ugly.
It's her mouth.
We actually. She looking like a man. I don't know what it is about her. There's just something about her that doesn't look right to me. I don't find her attractive. I'm not saying like if we were in a darkened room and she was bent over and moist,
dressed as a cat.
Take it. God damn you! Why you got to go there? Why you got to? She is a goddess, and you're a disgusting troll. Yeah.
Wow.
The queen never banished me, motherfucker. How you like that? How you like them apples?
I won't care about the royal family until they can start knighting outsiders. There's one thing that you can get that makes you almost equivalent to a knight, but not close enough, in my opinion. So therefore, they don't matter.
I like the idea of knighting, and it's one of the things I wish we had in America. And I know, guys, that there's a reason we don't, but it's kind of cool to have knights, you know?
Right.
Sir von Hedrickberg, whatever.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Oh, Sir Patrick Stewart, yeah. But that's the only thing about the British royals that I'm like, oh man, I wish we had that. The rest of it, like, go fuck yourself. Some rich cunt who rules the whole country because her dad did. Sorry to the English who I just called your queen a cunt. I'm sorry.
I'm sure she's a lovely cunt.
I'm sure she is. I used it in the way that the British do. No, the British are kind of mean when they say cunt. So like the Australians do. How about that? I've been around my Australian friends too long. Cunt is part of my vocab these days. So yeah, those were the main stories that I'd gotten to this morning, except for the one sent by Pincalo. That was Pincalo, right?
Yeah.
The last one we just read.
It's funny though.
Tampon cookies and cat girls. And then
God.
Then it's like, you know, maybe people have a point that Twitter's just a cesspool of shit.
I mean, really, it isn't I hate to use the word safe place, but it's not the same thing as a safe space, mind you. It's not really a safe place for regular, normal people.
Well, all of those, okay, I want to take it back. That last article about the women fighting the 1%. Take a guess what the media company name is that comes from. What website do you think that might be from?
Vox.
Bitch Media.
Oh, that's
Bitch
great.
Media. This is another thing that often amuses me about women is how they take on their pejoratives. Like, you're gonna call me a bitch? Well, I'm just gonna call myself a bitch. Like,
we're taking it back.
Cool, bitch. And then they still get mad if you call them that. It's not really something you see from men, with maybe the possible exception of the N-word with blacks, which was largely a male thing.
Word that should die out.
Yeah, but you don't see men like, we're going to have asshole media. We're going to have cocksucker media. Well, you got to be careful with that because that might exist for certain portion of the population.
But you know what I mean. To see if it's the domain.
You don't want to look that up because if that is real, it's going to have
meatspin.
It's going to have condom cookies on it.
Condom cookies and Inky cookies.
Oh God. No, but it's weird to me how you called me that. I'm going to take it and use it myself. Like, all right, I'm still going to call you that,
and you're still going to be annoyed at it.
Yeah, you're still going to get mad if I call you a bitch. And you still have this, because people in general are so varied. You don't have all women going, yes, I support bitch media because I'm supposed to. Oh man. You'll say it 300 times in the song. Are we talking about the word
that we're not allowed to say?
Any of those words that have been mentioned.
Yeah, that too. They say both pretty heavily, don't they?
Oh, in rap songs, hell yeah, bitch is what I don't think I've ever heard the term woman or girl in a rap song. Maybe I Need Love had the word girl.
It's one or the other. It's beauty or bitch. One of the two.
Yeah. What up, bitch? I mean, I've heard shorty. What are some other ones? Shit, I don't know. Yeah, but bitch means woman in rap. That's science.
Hose, yeah.
Oh, hose, yeah. How could I forget that? Oh no.
Maybe.
Tom Brady focused only on the present, but expect him to eye Los Angeles if he leaves the Patriots. Why? Why would you do that to me?
Ha ha.
Real quick, Diesel Dave, thank you. Whatever, I'm an asshole. Start asshole media, man. Yeah,
that actually might be a thing. That sounds familiar.
Oh, okay. Let me put it this way. It doesn't get celebrated. How about that?
Yeah.
It doesn't get celebrated the way cunt media would if a woman started it. Tom Brady to the Chargers.
Get out. Ain't gonna happen. That their last win was just sad and pathetic. I mean, it's still a win, but it was sad.
Hey.
1 point, 40-yard field goal.
Hey, they won.
Yeah.
Look, they deserve to win. Well, they didn't deserve. Yeah, they should have won every game they lost. They should have won every game they lost. There are two of those games, like last week, not this week we just had, but the week before, where if they'd have given the ball to Eckert instead of fucking holdout boy, they would have scored and won the game. And then there was a game, I think it was 4 weeks ago now, their second or third loss, can't remember which, where they scored 2 touchdowns on the same drive, both of which had to be called back for stupid ass penalties. Stupid penalties that had nothing to do with the play. I like motherfucker. But yeah, if you want to see Monkey depressed, tell me the Chargers sign Brady next year, and I'll be like, because say what you want about the Chargers, Phillip Rivers can throw a ball. He can throw a long ball accurately. And I would hate to see the Chargers reduced to 5-yard passes over the center. Oh, look, another 10
pass back to San Diego.
What's that?
I'm not going to support the Chargers till they go back to San Diego.
I was watching the highlights from last week's game, and the announcer actually said, San Diego's been having a rough time with that today. I was like, ha. Yeah, you can check it out on YouTube. He says he actually calls them San Diego. I'm like, that makes me feel better. Because everybody knows they're the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah, freaking LA.
Well, the city of San Diego and the Spanos family have been in a fight for decades. They don't like each other, and it finally came to Spanos saying, fine, fuck it, we're leaving. And unfortunately, they don't, because of their, losing ways. Yay. They don't have the fan base in San Diego that, Patriots have or Dallas has or that Packers, 49ers. I mean, there's some places that if teams moved, the fans would revolt.
Yeah, I can't see the Cowboys leaving Dallas. I can't see, well, at least Texas and proper. I can't see the Vikings leaving Minnesota. There's just some, you're absolutely right, that cannot go anywhere else and get the same love.
Chicago Mike says, your Chargers beat my Bears, so stop complaining. Well, that's how this conversation got started. In
the terrible win.
The Chargers did not deserve to win that game at all. They did not. I actually, because I knew they had won. My son, this was when I was sick, Dax. So I didn't even pay attention to the NFL that day.
And I did, and I normally don't. That's weird.
I was I texted my son. I was like, buddy, could you make me a sandwich and bring it to me? I need to eat, and I can't move. And being the good boy, he's moving out, and I don't know what I'm going to do without him here for when his mom is busy or not here. But he brought me down a sandwich, and we talked just very briefly. And he goes, your Chargers won by 1 point. I'm like, cool. And I watched the game footage the next day, and all the way up, I knew they won, but all the way up till the end, I'm like, they're going to lose this fucking game. They're going to lose this fucking game. Anyway, Let's Pincalo, thank you so much. Happy 26 years to Irate Prostate and Uziq. Oh, congratulations, guys. Congratulations indeed. That's a believe me, we just passed our 26. Are we coming up? When's August? That was a couple months ago, right? Yeah, we just passed ours. So
gotta be careful with that one.
Well, I never know the years anymore, man.
Years
I know
blend
when
together.
my anniversary is, but I never know the years.
I don't even remember my own age half the time. I actually have to do the math sometimes. I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, so do I. I'm glad I was born in 75. It makes it pretty easy.
Yeah.
It would have been easier if I was born in 80. But did you hear about California governor shutting off the power because of high wind?
I thought they were already doing power outages.
Didn't they do that yesterday? The day before, something like that?
I'm glad I don't live there anymore. That's just all I know.
Now, was it because of the fire or was it just the wind? When they hang on, what's this? When they shut off the power because the wind is blowing, stores throw away all the food requiring refrigeration. What happens next? Higher prices, food shortages. It's crazy in California. Even the organic produce was tossed out. No meat, dairy, eggs, frozen food, all tossed. Yeah, they could have given that away if they're just going to throw it away.
And they should have, but they don't. Tax write-off.
I feel like it could be a tax write-off either way. Well, you also have to be careful with giving food away because we have to shut off refrigeration. Come take what you can carry. Somebody gets sick eating that. Like, oh, how long was that refrigeration off? We're going to sue the shit out of you.
That's why you got to take pictures of exactly when you did it with 2 points of reference, and therefore you're covered.
That's why you got to throw it away. That's why you got to throw it away. Welcome, and you're in California, so you can blame the governor, but oof, man. I'm going to link this thread. Holy crap. Look at these empty shelves, man. We've had power outages where I worked in, and what we would do is we take everything quickly. We don't even sort. We just pack everything into crates and put it into the big freezer. The freezer that when you walk into it, your boogers freeze.
Those are fun. I go in there without a jacket.
Yeah, we just would shove everything in there and hope that thing held temp until the power came back on. We only had to throw stuff out, I think, once, and it wasn't that much that we ended up having to get rid of. But yeah, you got to be careful with this shit.
Jesus.
You really do. The world needs fewer lawyers. You ain't lying, man. You ain't lying.
And the idea is that they're being set to those fires. Jesus.
We don't need fewer lawyers. You know what we need? We need fewer juries who just always award shit to the plaintiff.
Yeah.
Because that's where the problem comes in. These lawyers go in there with their stupid fucking arguments, and they're like, my client stubbed his toe on the way out of this Taco Bell. And there's a loose tile like 6 spaces back. So that's what caused it. And then the jury's like, $50 million.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
There's a reason why big businesses have funds just set aside for petty lawsuits just to make them go away. Because it's easier to throw 10 grand at somebody than to go to trial. Because even if you win, you're going to spend far more than that.
Yep.
Well,
they always assume that settling out of court implies guilt. No, it just means you don't want to go through the hassle.
Yep. That's all it means. And
have a good day, Chicago Mike.
See, Mike. Oh, man, excuse me. Man. Oh.
Yeah, I'm with Foxy. Why don't they just have the power lines under the ground just in case this stuff happens?
There's problems with underground power lines. There's I forget what it was with underground power lines. There can be stray power at times. I don't know all the specifics about it.
Why don't they just get all the homeless people in San Francisco to run on hamster wheels?
You know that well, they don't run.
Well,
Have them poop on hamster wheels.
right, or just roll around on the hamster wheel. That'll be fine. Just give them some crack or something. It'll be okay. Earthquakes is not a good answer because they actually have underground power lines that are designed to stay intact during earthquakes. So I understand the idea, but earthquakes aren't a problem for that sort of thing.
Yeah, with earthquakes, you're more worried about more, and I guess those power lines are pretty heavy and stuff, but they're still flexible.
Right.
Biden reportedly asked government agencies to comply with son's lobbying request. Poor Biden, man. There was a New Hampshire poll that came out yesterday. He was in third. Oof.
In New Hampshire?
Yeah, I believe it was New Hampshire. In
Wow.
third behind Bernie, and Warren was number one. Which, I mean, it's New Hampshire, so I'm remember, he can't even remember where New Hampshire is. When he was in Vermont, he said, I love it here in New Hampshire. Biden. Poor Biden. I do feel bad for the guy because I feel like he was kind of roped into this. I feel like he probably didn't really want to do this.
Probably.
Well, if you go back to 2016, that would have been his best time to run. And he claimed he didn't do it because of his son dying, which I mean, I guess I can kind of understand. I don't think I really understand it. I think he didn't run in 2016 because of Hillary.
Yeah, they all wanted her turn. Exactly.
Her turn.
Same thing. Her turn.
And Biden should have been the one who ran then if he was going to. And the build up to this is like, is Biden gonna? I think he was more pushed by the party into going, okay, yeah, fuck it, I'll run. And Faithless says, I think Biden is going to bow out and endorse Hillary in his place. Hillary, look, I'm still on the I don't think she'd run side of things, but it would be so fun if she jumped in the race right now. So fun. Because she would Kamala Harris would have to drop out that day. Probably so would Bernie Sanders. Actually, Bernie might get a kick of support from that, from people who are like, fuck her. Andrew Joyner, thank you so much for the donation with no message. I appreciate it. Don't forget to support Dax as well, guys, because this show is brought to you by you. Because I don't have endorsements, even though I keep trying to get Jack Daniels and Pepsi and all kinds of things that I use to support me. They won't.
Have you actually tried calling Jack Daniels? I would love to see that be a thing.
That would be great. Monkey of the Morning brought to you by Jack Daniels.
Yeah, why not? I think it'd be awesome. Maybe you should.
I don't know if they're an all-American company. Do you really think they want to be associated with a show that birthed the term Downsy eggs?
I think maybe because how many people do you know drink Jack? Like a ton of them, right?
Ton, yeah, sure.
And where do they mostly drink Jack?
In bars.
And what kind of bars? Not city bars.
True. Look, I think I identify with the core Jack audience. I think the kind of people that would engage in some good old fashioned Jack and Coke would enjoy my show. But I don't know. I have this. It's not a fear of failure, Dax. It's a
fear of rejection.
What
if I called him for you?
It's more of a. I don't want to waste my time kind of thing. Because I have no doubt they'd go no. But as an uncredited producer, just like me, Dax, if you wanted to call them and see, who knows, maybe we could actually set up a Rogan-esque show here. Let's see. Cryptic over on the Streamlabs. Thank you so much. He says, before my surgery, my anesthesiologist asked me if I'd prefer to go with gas or to get hit in the head with a boat paddle. It was an either or situation.
Wow.
Cryptic, I love you. Oh, man. Okay, so let's discuss this. I do want to. Did I know I commented. Did I retweet it? Yes, I did. So there was a story that came out in the New York Times yesterday, and says I wrote about how OK Boomer has become Gen Z's default retort to old people on the internet and a rallying cry for millions of kids who are fed up with the status quo. Dun, dun, dun. Those poor kids and them having to deal with the status quo.
So funny.
Well, one, they blame Gen Z for it. Well, I don't know if they actually blame Gen Z for it. They credit Gen Z for it, when this is absolutely a millennial thing. Millennials are the ones who gave us boomer as a way to just end conversation when they have nothing else to say. You're just a boomer. Yeah, you're just a cunt. Which, by the way, not allowed to call them cunts. They tend to get, cunty.
Cunty.
You get a little cunty if you call them that. But yeah, it's become a thing that even I've seen people as old as, well, boomers use the term. And it's the funny part about it is it's often a way to, I don't want to say shut down a meme, but reply to a meme.
Yay.
With a meme. I don't even think the people who are doing it realize that's what it is at this point. I mean, it's not even a good meme. You might as well be saying, shut up. That's what I hear when I see boomer. Shut up. Shut up. Yeah. So
SDA in my list.
Monkey, you were a boomer though. Gen X, baby. I never thought I would be proud of being Gen X.
I sent SDA a link.
Okay. I never thought I'd be proud of being Gen X, but I'm proud of my generation for being lazy as fuck, man.
Setting the groundwork.
Yeah, we didn't do shit. You guys can try to blame us for stuff, but we ain't do shit. Cryptic, thank you so much. By the way, I only really get super chat banned on your channel. Did a test. Why? I mean, I'm not sad because that means your donations come through over on the Streamlabs, but I don't understand. YouTube, seriously, what do you have against me? Is it that I tell you to go fuck yourself so often? It can't be, because other people do it too.
I don't know, but I'm hearing there's a Korean pop singer who's starting to go as Ranting Monkey on YouTube.
Oh, that person's been around for a while.
I don't listen to K-pop, so I wouldn't know.
I don't know if they're actually a pop singer, but there's been a Korean channel around that uses the term Ranting Monkey in many, many of their video headlines or titles since before I got here. Hi, SDA. Oh,
Hi.
There she is. Yeah, they've been around since before I started on the channel, and it took me a long time to get my name to actually show up if you search Ranting Monkey.
That's a little weird, though, because I can never, separate the two now. If I hear monkey, immediately I think of you first.
Well, you should, because I'm the better monkey.
Oh, such modesty.
I'm known for my modesty. How you doing today, SDA?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Oh, wonderful.
Good.
Just wonderful.
That sounds sarcastic.
I mean, considering what we were talking about when we first started today.
I woke up to tampon cookies.
Oh, I think I saw that. I scrolled past it because it looked
gross.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's gross and stupid.
And
very stupid.
Well, yeah, it looked kind of gross. I didn't know what it was. And I've learned when I see something, if it's gross and I don't know what it is on Twitter, to just, and keep going and run away. So I didn't pause to look at it.
Bert and Ernie said we actually did a terrible thing. We parented millennials. Some, but a lot of them were raised by boomers. A lot of them had boomer parents because their parents didn't stop fucking when they were supposed to before the eggs got downsy. Just saying. And that's fact, man. They had babies well past the time they should have. Like those eggs expired last year. Stop it.
Best used by date is long and gone.
Yeah. Looks like some eggs that came off a California supermarket shelf.
Messed up.
Nice call back there.
Like
all right. I guess we need to talk about this.
oh God.
I'm gonna get socks before we talk about this.
Is that a euphemism?
What's that?
What?
No, actually, I need socks. My feet are cold. Don't worry, they're right over here.
He says he needs socks. All right. Well, I mean, he's got a couple nearby, but I'm sure they're kind of crusty. So
They're not crusty. These are brand new socks.
that's why you got to use the old socks. Oh man, it's nasty. Oh, all the topics today have been some sort of nasty, even the nice ones. So, how are you, SDA?
I am good. I am exhausted. I was with Addie this weekend, I was in Colombia this week, I guess, because I'm always there for like a week. And we released a book, and then we wrote, I think, almost 50,000 words of the next one.
Nice.
So my hands hurt. My brain is a puddle. And we started looking for narrators for the audio. So my brain doesn't work today. That's where I'm at. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Hopefully gainfully employed by the end of the week, and that'll be my king win for the year, I think.
Yeah.
For the record, I always keep clean socks nearby because I never know when my feet are going to get cold.
Or when he's going to use up all the dirty ones.
I don't like to wear socks, Dax. I've never liked socks, but as I've gotten older, and especially living in Michigan, sometimes I have to wear socks.
Come on, it's only 29 degrees outside. You should be fine.
Yeah. Nothing like freezing your ass off. This story pissed me off yesterday when I read it.
Ooh.
Pissed me off yesterday when we talked about it on Lords of the Night. And it's going to piss me off again today.
Bring it on.
This is an opinion piece from the Washington Post titled, "Why America Needs a Hate Speech Law."
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Cryptic, thank you so much, who says over on the Streamlabs, "If SDA needs a broken, angrish narrator, I got you." Oh, hello.
I appreciate that. I'll keep it in mind.
He's full of shit. He actually speaks very good English.
I know,
Richard's-
I actually heard Cryptic talk, and I think it was a life-changing experience.
It wasn't what I was expecting when I first heard it, actually. I was actually expecting a little bit of an accent, and he really doesn't have one.
No, he doesn't.
It's a very measured tone, actually. Richard Stegall, a former editor of Time, is the author of Information Wars and was the State Department's Undersecretary for Public Diplomacy and Public Affairs from 2013 to 2016. That's how this starts. It tells us who this asshole is. And I don't use the term asshole lightly here. Oh, man. Let's just do it. When I was a journalist, I loved Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr.'s assertion that the Constitution and the First Amendment are not just about protecting free thought for those who agree with us, but freedom for the thought that we hate. But as a government official traveling around the world championing the virtues of free speech, I came to see how our First Amendment standard is an outlier. Diesel Dave, thank you. I wish I was 29. I wish it was 29. It's like 12 here. Turn on the heat, man.
I mean, I wish I was 29 too. It wasn't that long ago, but,
I wasn't crippled. I came to see how our First Amendment is an outlier. You don't need to be a government official to see that. Just look around the world. The First Amendment is absolutely an outlier. Everywhere else in the world is like, we believe in free speech, but only if you say what we like. Which, by the way, is not free speech.
Yeah.
Not free speech at all. Even the most sophisticated Arab diplomats that I need a moment. Even the most sophisticated Arab diplomats. Who? Give me an example of a fucking sophisticated Arab diplomat.
All of them. Don't be a racist bastard.
I believe in free speech, but let's toss the gays off a roof. Sorry. That I dealt with did not understand why the First Amendment allows someone to burn the Quran. Why, they asked me, would you ever want to protect that? Because you're talking about a book. I don't care how.
Isn't it supposed to be the ideas that are important?
Yeah. And my right to tell you your book doesn't mean shit to me is just the most sophisticated Arab diplomats. It's a fair question. Yes, the First Amendment protects the thoughts that we hate, but it should not protect hateful speech that can cause violence by one group against another. It doesn't.
Oh my God.
In an age when everyone has a megaphone, that seems like a design flaw. No.
But
It is the most gorgeous time for free speech. You pussy ass motherfucker. But the words might hurt me. They're going to touch my no-no place.
Worked up monkey is best monkey.
This fucking article, man. Oh my God. And it is important to remember that our First Amendment doesn't just protect the good guys. Our foremost liberty also protects any bad actors who hide behind it to weaken our society. Like communist? No, that's not what he's talking about. In the weeks leading up to the 2016 election, Russian Internet Research Agency planted false stories, hoping they would go viral. They did. Russian agents assumed fake identities, promulgated false narratives, and spread lies on Twitter and Facebook, all protected by the First Amendment. Russians are not protected by the First Amendment, my friend. They're actually not. I mean, you can still say what you want to say, but the First Amendment only applies to Americans. That's just fact. The Russians understood that our free press our free press. He changed it a little bit there. Not free speech, our free press. I wonder if the Washington Post paid attention to that part. And its reflex towards balance and fairness would enable Moscow to slip its destructive ideas into our media ecosystem. It's actually ecosystem, but for echo chamber boy here, I thought it would be ecosystem would be better.
I liked it, enjoyed it.
Thank you. When Putin said back in 2014 that there were no Russian troops in Crimea, an outright lie, he knew our media would report it, and we did. That has what to do with hate speech? What it all to do with hate speech? You fucking douche. That's partly because the intellectual underpinnings of the First Amendment was engineered for a simpler era. You see, guys, we got too smart for the First Amendment. We're just too smart for it now.
We don't need it anymore. We're enlightened.
The amendment rests on the notion that the truth will win out in what Supreme Court Justice William O. Douglas called the marketplace of ideas. This marketplace model has a long history going back to the 17th century English intellectual John Milton. But in all that time, no one has ever quite explained how good ideas drive out bad ones, how truth triumphs over falsehood. And you know what? Sometimes lies win. Sometimes it happens. It does. But that's the price you pay for a free society. And I know, Mr. Stegel or whatever the fuck your name is, you want a society. Okay, hang on. I'm getting ahead of myself. This cocksucker, this motherfucking cocksucker. Milton, an early opponent of censorship, said truth would prevail in a free and open encounter. A century later, the framers believed that this marketplace was necessary for people to make informed choices in a democracy. It is, you stupid fuck! Even if you, oh my God, even if you have people who are out there lying, if the truth isn't out there too, how the fuck are they going to find it? They're going to guess? Somehow, magically, truth would emerge. Oh, fuck him. He actually wrote that after he wrote the other thing. The presumption has always been that the marketplace would offer a level playing field. No, that's never been the assumption or presumption, you douche. But in the age of social media, that landscape is neither level nor fair, nor has it ever been, dickhead. It has always rested in those who had the power to print. That's where most of our media's come from for our entire existence. And whoever had that power had the playing field all to themselves until now. And it is amazing how the idea that we need to get rid of free press and free speech is only coming up now that nobody has a monopoly on telling us what the fuck to think. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Maybe they should only listen to blind press.
I see what you did there, but I'm too worked up to laugh at the moment.
I got to chuckle
on the internet. What's that? I'm sorry.
I said I got a chuckle out of you. That's enough.
On the internet, truth is not optimized.
Optimize? What the fuck is he even talking about?
On the web, it's not enough to battle falsehood with truth. The truth doesn't always win. In the age of this motherfucker. Oh my God. This presumes that until the internet, everything you ever read in a newspaper, you guys, was absolutely truth. Absolutely truth.
That's how it worked, monkey, you fucking idiot. What is wrong with you?
I know. I'm just, how dare I?
You idiot fucking boomer. I don't even understand.
In the age of social media, the marketplace model does not work. In a 2016 Stanford study, sorry, I had my mouse over the word there. In a 2016 Stanford study, showed that 82% of middle schoolers couldn't distinguish between an ad labeled sponsored content and an actual news story.
Well, if it comes from WAPO, isn't there any difference there?
Only a quarter of high school students could tell the difference between an actual verified news site and one from a deceptive account designed to look like a real one.
Well, okay, real quick though, like, one, what is your definition? And two, when you consider the fact that on the internet, I mean, like, do people, like, but this person, sorry, like I said, I'm really tired. Would this person consider Rogue Rocket, Philip DeFranco's news website a news website, or would they consider it a fake news website because it's not a mainstream media news website? Like, a lot of modern news websites on the internet are not, you know what I mean?
No, I get you. He doesn't describe what a verified news site is. And to that point, let me assure you, Mr. Stego fuck, I knew people who believed what they read in the Weekly World News. If you guys aren't familiar with the Weekly World News, it was the most tabloid of tabloid newspapers ever written. This is my favorite story I ever read from the Weekly World News. I used to buy it just for the laughs. My favorite story ever was that the Chinese had come up with a plan to all jump at the same time to throw Earth out of orbit.
I remember that.
Yeah. Bat Boy, that's another good one. You had the Wolf Kids. You had it was an entirely made up nonsense newspaper.
And it all obviously came out of the internet, right?
No, yeah, well, yeah. By this guy's standard. Nobody ever believed anything wrong before the internet. Everybody, oh God, oh my God.
Yeah, no, propaganda was never a thing before the internet.
Oh no,
It's
no.
not like World War I or II happened.
I want to talk to this fuckwad. I think it's time to consider these statutes. The modern standard of dangerous speech comes from Brandenburg versus Ohio and holds that speech that directly incites imminent lawless action or is likely to do so can be restricted. In other words, telling somebody ordering somebody to go kill someone else. That's a direct incitement of violence. That kind of thing. That can be restricted. You can be held liable for that. Domestic terrorists such as Dylan Roof and Omar Mateen and the El Paso shooter were consumers of hate speech. He jumps all over the fucking place trying to make his argument. Speech doesn't pull the trigger, but does anyone seriously doubt that such hateful speech creates a climate where such acts are more likely?
Well, this is something that a lot of people have argued when it comes to like the video games thing, like, oh, video games cause violence or movies or that, right? Because the thing about that is when you have certain people who are predisposed to things such as mass shootings or something, they'll find any way to trigger themselves, or however you want to put it.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but Mother Nature, that is such a great point. I didn't even think of that one. War of the Worlds. Do you guys know why War of the Worlds is an important point here?
Yes, because it was a radio broadcast and they did like a dramatic reading of it. Everybody thought it was actually happening.
Yeah, a lot of people thought we were being invaded because of a radio broadcast reading a story. Yeah, but this shit, nah. It's just the internet. Now to his point here, if somebody is consuming hateful content, does it make it more likely that something horrible will happen? It depends on the person. No, I can't say that just having that out there. But you know what I do know? I do know shutting it down and deciding that only one side is right can lead to that same shit, you shitbag. The Puritans banned lots of speech. We just invented new speech. Language is good like that. Let the debate begin. Hate speech has a less violent but nearly as damaging impact in another way. It diminishes tolerance. It enables discrimination. No, it doesn't. Isn't that, by definition, speech that undermines the values that the First Amendment was designed to protect? Fairness, due process, equality before the law. No. The the First Amendment was specifically designed to allow people to speak their mind, to come together and protest, to report what's going on, and to be safe in their religious practices. That's what it was for. Why shouldn't the states experiment with their own version of hate speech statutes to penalize speech that deliberately insults people based on religion, race, ethnicity, and sexual orientation? Why not? Because it's against the fucking law. Because it's a direct violation of the First Amendment, you stupid prick. And for good reason. Being insulted, it might hurt your fifis, but it doesn't hurt you. There's no damage there. And the idea that if I call Dax a fag, that means somebody's going to go burn his house down because he's a fag, which he's not, by the way. Not by that definition.
Wow.
What? Use an example here. Is fucking moronic. It's fucking moronic. What you're doing is you are taking the agency off of the people who do this horrible shit. What you're doing is saying Dylan Roof would have been a nice kid if only he hadn't have heard these horrible things. And there's no evidence that that's true. But there's no evidence that if Dylan Roof hadn't have gone to a couple of websites that he wouldn't have been a murderous shitbag. That all speech is not equal. I'll grant you that, but it's equal in front of the law.
Mm-hmm.
And where truth cannot drive out lies, we must add new guardrails. I'm all for protecting thought that we hate, but not speech that incites hate. It undermines the very values of a fair marketplace of ideas that the First Amendment is designed to protect. If you missed it there at the end, this is the important part. I want to read that again. All speech is not equal, and where truth cannot drive out lies, we must add new guardrails. I'm all for protecting thoughts that we hate, but not speech that incites hate. It undermines the very values of a fair marketplace of ideas that the First Amendment is designed to protect. He wants the government to tell you what is and is not okay to think. That's what he's saying there. He's coloring it in the language of don't use the N-word. Don't call someone a stupid Jew. No. But how do you have ideas that we hate, thoughts that we hate, but not, and it's okay to express those thoughts that people hate, but say them in a way that he wouldn't consider hateful. There's no way to do that. Uncle Sam, thank you. Sounds to me that this person is inciting hate. I think is what you were writing there. It says insisting hate in case I was wrong. I said this last night. This is my hill to die on. I love our Constitution. I love our Bill of Rights. To me, the most important parts of the Bill of Rights are 1, 9, and 10. And the right to free speech, the ability to speak freely is probably the most important right we have, guaranteed by the Constitution. Good morning, Jack.
Hello.
You caught me mid-rant.
I heard part of it. I launched the stream just as I realized that you were live.
Oh, hi. The ability to say whatever you want, yeah, that can lead to people saying really horrible things. Things that even I would think is like, Jesus Christ, you're a fucking asshole. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to say them unless it is actually calling for violence against someone or something or people or whatever. Actual incitement of violence. The idea that I love that he said that we've never been told how exactly good ideas overcome bad ideas. I see why you would write this if you actually believe that. Good ideas there's no way good ideas just overcome bad ideas. Bad ideas always win. Right, black guys? Hey, Mustafa, you're still a slave, right?
Obviously.
For those of you who are just listening along and like, did he just pull some African name out of the... No, Mustafa is somebody in the chat who happens to be a black man. Yeah, good ideas. Why would they ever prevail? How about because you make a better argument and show, look, this is better.
You're negating the idea that all ideas are equal.
Real quick, Angry Illinoisan, thank you. All of this talk of hate speech laws needs to go away. Don't mess with my freedom of speech, female dog. You can call him a bitch. I have.
I don't think you can write that in the super chat.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You know, because of free speech.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there can be a place called bitch media. Imagine that.
Well, you can't super chat that.
Mustafa says checks risk shackles. Yep. Look, have bad ideas persisted? Sure. Communism is still talked about, and it's actually gaining some speed right now.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Ignorant children.
This is exactly what they want to fucking do. This is what they want to do. They want to tell you what you are and are not allowed to say. And where does that happen? Fascistic societies. Why? So that they can change the rules how they fucking want them and you're not allowed to say anything. That's why we have the First Amendment. So we can argue back against the stupid shit our government is trying to do.
Monkey, it's not tyranny when we do it.
You're right. Oh God, that last fucking part. We must add new guardrails. Go fuck yourself. You're not talking about guardrails. You're talking about telling me and it's not just about what we're allowed to say, it's what we're allowed to think. How, maybe Jack, maybe you can answer this. How can you express a hateful thought without using hateful language?
Well, it's all determined by the authoritarians. I mean, the overseers. They will dictate to us because they're smarter, better than we are. What is a wrong idea? And we can't think that thought anymore because that's bad and impure. And they'll monitor us to make sure that we know. Can we just really call these people what they are? And that's feelings terrorists.
They really are.
That is a really good way to put it. Feelings terrorists. I told you guys 6 months ago they were coming for the First Amendment because they hadn't really started their push yet. They were still really big on the second. I told you they're coming for it.
Oh,
they're coming for it.
This is just the beginning.
This is how it starts. It just starts a couple of articles here and there, and then suddenly you have assholes chanting in the street. You have politicians. We need to put in hate speech laws. No, we don't. We need people to get the fuck over themselves. Stop pretending. You get so pissed off over something. This asshole actually brought up Russia interference in the election as though that's covered by the First Amendment. The Russians are not covered by the First Amendment. Their interference in our election, how many times have we heard it's illegal? Not to this guy. It's just First Amendment shit.
You know who loves hate speech controls? Russia.
Nazis.
No, Russia loves that shit. They used to throw people in the gulag for it.
Communist society. Ask China. Ask China.
We could, but everybody we need to answer doesn't have a good enough social credit score.
Yeah, right. Ask Winnie the Pooh. And fucking Winnie the Pooh is banned in China because somebody made a joke about the president looking like Winnie the Pooh. A president is his right thing, right? The Chinese, is he a president?
I think so, but technically he's probably a dictator. I don't know.
He's technically the emperor.
Yeah.
I'm sure they all voted for him. I read this article, man. This is the third time my brain is broken over it. The first time I read it, it was just to myself, and you guys should have heard me. I was absolutely yelling in here. It's like, this is fucking retarded. It's absolutely fucking retarded. Don't let them push this shit on you guys. Seriously. You know what? It's social media doing it. All right. They are private companies, blah, blah, blah. But if the government were ever to tell you you can't say something on Facebook or on Twitter or on YouTube, that's when it becomes a problem.
They won't have to, though. They'll just let those proxies do it for them. All the social media places are all massively one-sided, and they're going to censor you for their government.
This is part of what he was talking about, Jack. He kind of makes it sound as though this is a new thing. But that's been the way with the modern media forever. Whoever controlled the printing presses controlled the narrative. Whoever controlled the television stations controlled the narrative. And now it's whoever controls social media, only they don't have the power to control social media the way they did the papers and television. They don't have that power because too many of us have voices out there. Too many times they've told us some ridiculous bullshit story. Trump thinks he's God. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Trump acted like he was God. And then it's like, oh, wow. And then people started posting the actual video where he's obviously joking, and everybody went, ah, shit, this again.
Well,
These fucking liars again.
That's why there'll be a bigger and bigger push closer we get to the election to silence those voices, whether that's through legislation or just better filters and algorithms, better content ID systems. That's what you'll see. If these people get their way, we'll live in communist Russia.
The problem with social media is right now, and it is a problem for social media and the politicians, is that as long as you stay within certain rules, they still won't kick you off. It's almost like being able to get into the opinion section of a paper, writing in your opinion, but without somebody at the paper being able to say, no, don't print that one. As long as you're not breaking their rules, you can say whatever you want. And so, yeah, that does make it so you have to play by their rules, which sucks, but it also allows you to still get into the argument and point out where they're just fucking wrong. Like pointing out that the statistic as Beto O'Rourke runs around telling you about how he's going to take your rifles away, about how few people are actually killed with a rifle each year. That's an important thing to point out to people. You want to talk about truth winning out? Beto running around, we need to take these away from you. Less than 2 people a day die from rifles in the U.S. Meanwhile, I mean, if you want to be honest about what you're doing, Beto, why don't you go after the handguns? I'm not saying you should, but I mean, it does show what a fucking moron he is, and the fact that he cares more about, I think it was 404 people dying compared to 7,000 in a year.
Well, he's a moron, but what they're doing is actually fairly cunning because they go for the rifles first. Then those rifles didn't stop enough. They switched over to these other deadly weapons. So then they go for those. See, they do it incrementally. It's the long-term planning.
But because of things like Twitter, we can make them look like a fool in ways we couldn't before. We can point out, like you, especially, you point out how many people die in car wrecks compared to rifle kills. You have about 2 a day with rifle kills, and I forget what it is per day, but it's 40,000 people die in cars every year. 400 compared to 40,000. Beto, should we talk about seatbelts? But no, we don't care about that. We don't care about that. And this is what bugs him. This is why you have this push. And it is not for hate speech. It is not so you're not insulting Carlos Maza being a lispy queer. They don't give a fuck about lispy queer Carlos Maza. What they care about is the ability to tell you what you can say. That's dangerous, man.
You know what's funny is that it's going to come down to the idea that the gangs are going to be our first line of defense against all out, government control.
Yeah.
Well, the more you outlaw something, the more it becomes desirous. Look at prohibition; that failed.
Sure, absolutely. More, it's like because you add the taboo effect to it.
Mm-hmm. You're adding a mystique.
Yep,
and people love that shit. So I think they're creating the enemy they want to have right now.
They're bunch of shitbags is what they are. I read this and I could not believe it. I mean, the Washington Post has had a lot of stupid shit in it recently. They're the ones who had that wonderfully glowing obituary for al-Baghdadi. And had to come out and like, whoops, we didn't mean to do that. But you did.
Well, then why'd you do it?
Andrew Joyner, thank you so much. If you want to see how well hate speech laws are working out, look at England. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what they want. That's what they want. They look at places like Germany, where you're not allowed to make a Nazi joke. And that's what they want. Vanilla Bear, hi, sweetie. And that's not to say, I want to repeat that. Not allowed to make a Nazi joke. You can make some Nazi jokes, but you got to be careful of which ones you make. You definitely can't make a Jew joke. That's what they want. They want to control your speech, but it's not just for those kind of jokes. It's also for how you think. It's for how you think. Kingslayer Damocles, thank you. They already tried to go for the handguns. It's called Heller VDC. Yeah. There was because we had the assault rifle ban back in the 90s. And you also had the handgun push, largely because of James Baker. James Baker is the guy. No, not James Baker. Brady, thank you. Baker was the guy who tried to take over. Brady was the guy who got shot. James Brady got shot at the same time President Reagan did, and has spent the rest of his life trying to get guns outlawed. Because, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, they had the push for handguns, and for the most part, it's failed. And so they're back to that scary military style weapon. They do know handguns are used in the military, right?
It's called a sidearm. Most, in fact, all soldiers have one.
Yeah, it's a side. It's the one they wear on their hip, you dumbass. Anyhow, I can put up with a lot of shit, and this is one that actually pisses me off. This is me actually angry because this makes no goddamn sense, and you have people cheering it on. The ability to say what we want and question our government and question stupid shit like this article. I mean, in this guy's perfect world, I wouldn't be able to question this article because it would be hate speech to question the idea that hate speech is okay.
Well, obviously, you bigot.
I don't like when people say hateful things. So you know what I do? I argue back with them and try to make them look like fucking morons. I'm actually pretty good at it.
No, you need to report them to your local oversight council.
Yeah.
So that they can be arrested by the local police.
And then they can become martyrs.
Or sent to re-education camps.
Yeah, they will be sent to a dark, scary place where they will learn the proper ways to behave in society.
Epstein's basement?
In all seriousness, do you think people like Milo Yiannopoulos, Ben Shapiro, Tommy Morrison, any of these people would have got as big as they did if it wasn't for the people trying to shut them up? Not the people arguing against them, the ones trying to shut them up.
Not even
That's
close.
what gave them their platform. You made them fucking heroes. And for the record, I don't necessarily disagree with them on all things they say, but I know I wouldn't have heard of Milo. Well, I'd heard of Milo before Berkeley, but I didn't hear of Tommy until he started getting in trouble. Good job. You made him international, you dumb fucks.
Yeah, if it weren't for Trigglypuff, I wouldn't have known about Milo. I found her as the meme first, and I'm like, where was this at? And then I didn't know who Steven Crowder was, so that got me into that too. So,
you know what? I think that's where I found out about both of them as well. I'd already heard of Christina Hoff Sommers, and I think that's what actually led me there.
Yeah, I'd heard of her because, who doesn't love a good old traditional feminist? And I mean that, by the way.
Oh, indeed. Indeed.
I knew Steven Crowder from when he got into it with Amy Schumer on Red Eye once.
Yo.
Speaking of hate speech, hi, Sinatra.
Yeah, I heard you talking about Jews and shit, so I had to come in.
I figured. How you
What's
been,
going
man?
on, boys? And SDA.
Well, wait, I sent you a link like an hour ago, and you said, give me a minute.
Yeah, I've been busy.
You work on women time or something?
Yeah,
Wow.
I've been fucking busy. What do you want?
He's prepping his hair. Come on.
He was getting his makeup just right. Were you making tampon cookies?
No, I was making dirt for my aquarium.
Oh, there you go.
Tampon cookies are important.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a tampon cookie?
Okay,
It's a cookie shaped like a tampon. Fucking duh. Get with it.
I mean, she's got a point. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll get you a picture.
Get the picture. Here was the story. Here's the long and short of it. There's a school somewhere where 7th graders asked the principal to give them free tampons. He said, no, you'll just abuse them. And so they had a protest by making tampon cookies.
So wouldn't that be a cookie tampon, not a tampon cookie?
They called them tampon cookies.
They're also gross, and the string is backwards, but go ahead.
When you say tampon cookie, I think of like
I know what you.
Yeah.
I know what you're going for. Don't finish that thought.
Wait. Out of curiosity, did they? I have 2 points. Just hear me out. Number one, didn't they just look like sperm cookies?
Did you not get the picture either? God damn it! Hang on.
Yeah, those do look like sperm.
Wait, hang on. Real quick, Uncle Sam, thank you. If you want to see a world that the left wants, watch the movie Demolition Man.
Yes,
I love that movie.
I thought you were going to bring it up on stream, Dax.
No, fuck that noise.
Now I got to do it.
Number two,
I sent them the picture. It's fine.
to retaliate, did anybody with an actual sense of humor build a giant gingerbread cookie that the tampon cookie would fit into the crotch of?
Oh god,
Salami? Oh no,
That's awesome.
Kind of like
there you
red
go.
dye. Okay,
There it is.
that looks like salami if you just kind of glance at it.
I don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, that looks gross.
They are pretty gross.
Like I would never guess tampon if you told me that. I'd be like smushed penis. I don't know.
Ryan's got a point. He says so they couldn't afford tampons, but they could afford a cookie ingredients.
Yeah,
Right.
Women logic.
Well, it doesn't help if the parent is actually like on a board or whatever that is for female pro-choice. You know. So
What's ironic is they made cookies, which is obviously a girl stereotype.
right. Faithless says they look
were
like
in
finger
the
sandwiches
kitchen.
on a string.
Monsters in the kitchen. How dare they?
yeah,
I just want to know how that's a protest. I need somebody to explain.
Maybe they were poisoned.
it's a statement, not a protest.
That
Statements
article specifically says protest.
Yeah, they're done.
Oh, monkey. That reminds me. The Washington compost article you just read. I
Oh,
put
God,
a
yeah.
video on that today. That
Did you?
article is fucking insane.
It is.
Arabs don't like it, so why do we have it? Fuck you. That's why. Fuck you and fuck them.
But these are really forward-thinking Arabs.
Sophisticated.
Yeah, that's the word he used. Sophisticated.
Yeah, that they think gays should be just shot instead of thrown off buildings.
They're really just trying to teach the gays how to fly.
Exactly. They put a cape on them first.
Think happy thoughts.
They give them
I
those
love that
glider
that's his-
uniforms.
What's that? I'm sorry.
They give them those like gliders that people will stand on top of like mountaintops and glide all the way down. They give them that too. Like, oh, you
A hang glider.
I believe the gays could fly.
Pumpkin Trucker, thank you. Fun fact about James Brady. Reagan was shot in 81 in Washington, D.C. D.C.'s Pew Pew ban was enacted in 75. They were already illegal, just saying. Yeah. Hey, making guns illegal makes everyone safer. Except apparently one of our presidents and James Brady.
They wanted to institute that countrywide, though. Brady wanted to be a total gun grabber.
I just love in that article that that's where he goes. The most sophisticated Arab.
Yeah, so he's that guy that he was talking about, the sophisticated one. He must be from like the 8th century.
Right. I mean, we're talking about people who, they never made it to the 20th century in most respects. And I'm sorry for you Arabs out there, but he's obviously talking about people from overseas. Why not the most sophisticated European?
Because they let their women drive and not wear veils like monsters.
The most sophisticated South American. Asian. No. Arab.
because the example was the Quran.
Well, that's what he brought up afterwards, is that they asked, why would you let them burn the Quran? All right. Well, why don't you go to a sophisticated Catholic country? How about that? Because you know what? We do allow the burning of the Bible. We allow you to take on public money a crucifix and dip it in a jar of piss and take a picture of it and call it art.
Yeah, but nobody cares about Christians. The Muslims,
I
however,
know.
they're special.
We got to make sure.
About Christians. Did you see what happened with Ilhan Omar?
Oh God, no. What she did now.
The ever present for fucking some reason, Congress they're really doing their due diligence by condemning the Armenian genocide. This thing that happened 105 years ago. And Ilhan Omar voted present instead of yes.
Are you kidding?
Wow.
She voted. Wait, she did what?
Here, I'll send Monkey the article.
She voted present instead of going on record, yes or no.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
About what?
The Armenian genocide.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the article. This
Cenk Uygur wasn't there. That'd have been a thumbs down there.
Representative Ilhan Omar on Tuesday refused to support a congressional resolution recognizing the Armenian genocide, saying it was important first to condemn the preceding mass slaughter of, quote, hundreds of millions of indigenous people, as well as the transatlantic slave trade.
Bitch, what? Okay, can I, real quick? So I know that people think very lowly of academic spheres, etc., etc. One of the first things we talked about in my fascism class was the Armenian genocide. Because we went over all of the major European genocides of the 20th century. The Armenian genocide was the first one. What the fuck is she talking about?
Well, Omar, in a statement explaining her vote of present on the resolution, also seemingly suggested that the century-old mass killing of Armenians by Ottoman Turks may not have occurred at all.
What the fuck were you, Alex Jones?
She asserted that, quote, accountability and recognition of genocide should not be used as a cudgel in a political fight, but should instead, quote, be done based on academic consensus outside the push and pull of geopolitics.
The correct politics, not your right-wing extremism, SDA.
No! Motherfucker. Okay. I'm sorry. Look, the professor that does all the fascism stuff at my university.
You have a professor of fascism?
Yeah, he does like a lot of World War II stuff, and he's like an expert on fascism.
How's that guy get a job?
What
school do you go to?
I haven't said.
I'm gonna become the new professor there.
But he's very liberal, and like you said, one of the first things you talked about was the Armenian genocide, because I don't know, there's an academic consensus that it fucking happened.
Is he building up to the Orange Man bad, or
real quick?
No, like, I mean, he doesn't like Trump, but like we've I don't know, like we've all talked about it, I guess.
Hold that thought for a second. Cryptic, thank you so much. She's too busy getting fucked by a non-Muslim white guy. By the way, guys, as far as I know, you do not get censored at all over on the Streamlabs.
Nope.
No, you don't.
But this is a good time to remind you that if you say something too horrible, even I won't read it out loud. I'll still thank you, but for the most part, I read everything.
Pays it, I says it.
I reserve the right to go. No, I'm not reading that. Some opponents of the resolution have advanced different reasons from Omar, arguing that formally recognizing the Armenian genocide risks angering Turkey.
Who gives a fuck?
It's okay. All right. It's not like we're saying the people who are there now did it. We're just saying it happened.
The Turks at the time said they did it.
Why is it so hard to say? I don't understand why the Armenian genocide is a contentious issue.
Well, it's literally not. In academia, it's not. It's also not a contentious issue that in both Greece and in Turkey, there were mass deportations on both sides, started by Turkey because the Turks started expelling the ethnic Greeks, and then it happened in the reverse as retaliation. And this was all it's like a result of when unification started happening in Europe, and nation states started to become a thing. It was just like a whole thing. And that's what happened. Like genocide
just
was
because the victims were Christian.
Well, I think they're really upset about the fact that if you look at that, you're going to look at other things they've done wrong, like the whole conquest of the Holy Roman Empire nonsense they did hundreds of years before that, and how they tried to invade Europe with the Ottoman Empire and little things like that. So it's sort of like living under communism. You can't question the state because anything that comes to light will lead to other things coming to light, and they don't like that.
Real quick, I got to bring up something else dumbass said. Ilhan Omar, talking to Mother Jones, says, it's quite shameful that Duncan Hunter is still a member of Congress and Katie will not be. It's a shame that we have Donald Trump still as our president while Katie will not be serving in Congress. Talking about Katie Hill.
I want to quit.
Exactly. I want to be done with this whore, but she keeps popping up. So,
okay, I got something that can distract you from that.
Wait, hang on. I want to get this out. Nobody forced her out of Congress. She left. She could still be serving. Go ahead. Distract me.
The least fucking shocking headline ever. Epstein's autopsy points to homicide, not suicide.
Well, we talked about this a little.
No fucking way. Oh my God, I'm so fucking shocked.
Whoa. You know what I love more than anything is that the Epstein didn't kill himself meme has been strong for like a week now.
We talked about this earlier, and going back to the original autopsy, it didn't point to suicide, but they covered it by saying, look, the problem with the autopsy, why they say points to homicidal strangulation, is the broken hyoid bone. And if you've ever watched any police procedural, you know that is an automatic, there was foul play here.
Dude, just because in 95% of the cases that it means it was murder doesn't mean I'm sad.
Exactly. Lion Patriot, thank you so much. Turkey may get mad. We're Americans. When have we worried about who are mad at us? Fuck them. Exactly. Fuck them.
Also, thanks, Cryptic. He tossed me a donation. Said, here you go, Skittles boy. I might actually get Skittles with those because I'm jonesing.
And don't forget to support the gentleman on the dais and the lady on the dais with me. They are great people who do great things, and I love them all. But we knew about the hyoid bone way back at the original autopsy. We actually knew about it before the results of the autopsy came out. Somebody leaked it, and then the coroner came out and went, "Yeah, I mean that's weird, but that does happen sometimes in hangings."
Yeah, not when you're hanging yourself with toilet paper.
I mean, it can.
That coroner just wasn't sad.
No, you're right. That coroner's like, what do you want me to say?
That coroner had a guy there who was glowing in the dark to not become sad.
Right?
Forced not to be sad.
So look, we've talked so much about Epstein, and I am 99.9% sure he wasn't sad either. If y'all catch my drift.
He got sad, monkey.
He wasn't sad, but he was not happy that he got fucking caught. And he was gonna fucking flip on so many people. Yes. He got offered some state's witness, some Witsec horse shit where he was gonna flip on fucking everybody. Next thing you know, he hangs himself from a 5-foot tall bunk. My ass.
You think this guy who was facing life in prison wasn't going to flip on? He had big names, man. I mean, we're talking about leaders of nations. Clinton,
Prince Andrew.
He was gonna fucking roll on everyone.
Yep.
And now it's all going away because he got sad, and those guys that were watching him got sleepy.
And the cameras got malfunctiony.
Yeah, the cameras got sad.
And his cellmate got transferred.
He didn't want to get sad either.
Like, you're both going to get sad, or you need to go somewhere else. He's like, oh, I'll transfer.
Yeah, and those sleepy guys were as close to getting sad as they cared to get. So, yeah, I think the whole thing stinks to high heaven of a cover up. You can't really disprove any of the conspiracy theories, except for maybe the reptilians one. That
Sure.
one was on a little shaky ground, but
We all know. We know.
yeah, but they're going to do everything they can to make this go away. No one's going to look any deeper into this. Though it'll be a fringe conspiracy theory, just like the JFK assassination, for the next 30 years.
How long ago did Epstein die now?
That's been a few months.
They raided his island, what, the day before, the day after, something like that?
Yeah.
And we have still not heard a single leak of what they found there.
Yeah, because they dumped it all over into the ocean on the way back.
Yep. They're like, we're not getting sad. We found nothing.
And you know what they did do? Take ground penetrating radar out there to see if there were any dead kid bodies out there.
Yeah, there's it is amazing how not just him dying, but the whole fucking story went away. Occasionally we'll get something stupid like the picture. We found the guy who posed for the picture of Bill Clinton in a dress that Epstein had. Ooh, that's big news. How about, did you find, evidence of Clinton being on the island?
Yeah, well, they're not
Because
going
that would be news.
They're not going to release any of this. All this stuff's getting buried because all the people in charge are a lot of the people being named in this.
Yeah.
So they control media assets. They control government assets. There's a lot of power and influence here, and those people do not like being fucked with. I would be willing to bet half the people on that team that went on the island were probably on the take.
What? It just amazes me how nothing has been. There's no investigation in the world where something isn't leaked.
No, this is going to be one of those, like, I'm hunting Bigfoot expeditions where you're not going to find anything because you're not going to look real hard. Because any honest person sees this, they're going to be like, holy shit, I don't want to get murdered.
Yeah, the closest we got was the testimony from I think it's a civil trial that chick is suing his estate or something.
Yeah.
Used to be him. Where we found out Prince Andrew might have been, banging little kids over there.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that hasn't gotten said yet. So
that went away too.
Security detail.
Does sad mean suicide by Democrat? Teresa,
no.
We would never suggest such a thing.
Nobody would ever say that. Shut up. Why would you say that? You'll get sad.
Yeah, don't get sad.
You don't want to end up with a suicide with a double tap to the back of the head.
Just one particular Democrat whose name rhymes with Schminton.
He's not sad. Sinatra's not sad. I just want to point that out.
I'm always happy all the time.
No, this is the kind of shit that when the press, they're being mean to us in the press. This is a story you should be going after. We're talking about powerful men who are banging children, and you guys
they don't care about that.
Silent.
They don't care because they're either afraid, which they should be, or because they don't care about what was happening there because they don't care about the kids, or they think the kids consented.
You know what? If you pay attention to when the U.S. side of this, when they stopped looking at anybody in the U.S., it's when it was like, oh, President Trump was friends with Epstein, and they're like, oh, President Trump stopped hanging out with him when he did something weird a long time ago.
Yeah,
kicked him out of his fucking club. And suddenly it's like, oh, it's not a story. No, it's not. Whoops, sorry about that. I was pulling a straw out of a cup.
T-Tac in the chat said, hey guys, did you hear that Epstein guy hung himself? I love you, T.
He didn't. He was not sad. It was all just a bunch of coincidences that led up to him being able to hang himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just crazy, like, that he had the ability to do it. Like, it's just amazing, and it's, like, so good for him that he was able to just express himself so creatively in his final moments of life. Like, oh my god.
I would like to see.
I would like to just point out that I called it as soon as the news broke that he got arrested.
Oh shit!
It's just a matter of days before he kills himself.
Yep. He was going to be sad. I would like to see the autopsy photos to see where what was it, a sheet that he supposedly hung himself with?
Yeah, one of the easily torn prison sheets that isn't capable of supporting more than 50 pounds.
He was on suicide watch.
No, they took him off.
They took him off. No, it was weeks before. But at that time, because of how soon he'd been on suicide watch, he was still supposed to have a cellmate at all times.
Yeah, they were supposed to do checks on him every 15 minutes.
But yeah, Faithless, that's what I'm getting at. The ligature marks. I would love to see where they are on his neck compared to the high. That's why when they talk about hanging, you usually don't break the hyoid, is because it's usually higher up on your neck.
Yeah, the hyoid bone's down by your collarbone, and
I thought and that's a little bit lower than that.
That's why strangulation usually breaks that, where hanging doesn't. But and again, though, all they have to do is say, well, it was a weird thing. Maybe he jerked himself just right to break a bone in his neck.
Right.
Oh. Epstein killed himself with Ghastly's body. Oh God. Oh, all right. Like I said, again, they'll just keep pointing to, well, weird things happen. Sometimes the hyoid breaks when someone hangs himself.
It's just a right-wing conspiracy theory like Vince Foster.
Seth Rich.
Shh, we don't say that name. Too soon.
Oh, Seth Rich. His name's just kind of gone away, hasn't it?
Naturally.
What in the fuck?
Dead air, lovely.
I just watched a Vice video about a guy who justifies having sexual acts with earthworms because the worms don't know they're on his genitals.
Yeah, someone sent me that, and I think it was Delta sent me that, and I was just like, nah, I'm not reading that.
I saw a thing the other day about that, about people. Was it Paul Joseph Watson who tweeted out people having sex with worms? And sorry, SDA, you might want to take off your headphones for this. With bugs, and like, I'm
gross.
That's nasty.
Blowfly girl.
What's that?
Blowfly girl.
I don't know what that is.
Oh my God! Can somebody send Monkey the Blowfly girl video from Wang?
Nobody wants to see that.
Dude, it is exactly what you're talking about right now.
You don't want to watch it, Monkey.
I don't understand. Look, the cat girl from earlier is about as weird as I ever want to hear about. She identifies as a cat, y'all. All right. I don't know if there was anything. Oh, let me see. I forgot to finish going through my stuff here. Was there anything else that pissed me off yesterday? No, I think that's it. Was there anything you guys wanted to bring up and talk about?
Did you hear about that Epstein guy?
Yes, I did.
I heard nothing. No one did anything weird.
Nobody did anything. Yeah, it's all the same. Oh wait, what's this? Oh. Monkey, sir, it is my son's birthday today, October 30th, and he will be 11. As I can never watch his show or Lords of Night Live, I cannot request a song in the conventional manner. As such, I would like to humbly request it in this manner. My son's name is Isaac. I'd like to thank you in advance, sir, because I know he will love it. Again, thank you. Cheers. I won't read the name. I will do my best. You know what? I'm going to write that down so I can try to remember to do it during Lords of the Night. But as is custom here, we're going to do it here too, because I love singing happy birthday to people. I really do. I think it's a lot of fun, and I think people like it more than they like to say. And I don't mean my singing, but having people sing to them. Tomorrow I get to sing to Pumpkin because it's her birthday tomorrow.
Nice.
Right? Tomorrow? Yes, the 31st. Okay. This is for Isaac, you guys. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
To you.
Shwa, 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 shwa. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Shwa, shwa, shwa. Happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
dear Isaac.
It's Isaac's birthday.
Happy birthday
Birthday
to
to
you. Isaac, I hope you have a wonderful birthday. I really do. Why do people request this, says Faithless? Because they like it. You be nice. But you know what? On Isaac's birthday, I think we're gonna wrap this one up, guys. We're over the 2-hour mark, and yeah, seems like a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Sorry this one was so late. I just actually slept last night, so whoops.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming and hanging out. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are amazing. I appreciate it more than I can ever express. With that, SDA, are you with us?
I'm here.
Is there anything you'd like to shill today?
Oh, yeah. I released a book on Saturday. So that's out now. Blackwood's The Blades of Redwater is out. There's a book before it in the series. So I'm just putting the links to all of that in chat.
All righty.
Yeah.
Dax.
Yes, since I'm awake and I'm prepared this time, I've got the link for Chaos Eve's channel where she does awesome game stream stuff, usually on the Macabre, which I appreciate. And there's a link in the chat right there.
Speaking of links, I would like to thank Nuts for dropping our Streamlabs links over and over in the chat for us. You are such a sweetheart, and I can't thank you enough, honey. Sinatra, anything you'd like to pimp out?
Yeah, we have the AAA meeting later tonight over on White Supremacy. And I have a creepypasta coming out later. Oh, and the video I just put up. Go check that out. You remember what those are, Monkey?
I do. You and your mom make some of the best.
Come up with a new one.
What? You're using the same joke. Why can't I?
Because I'm asking you if you remember what it's like to make videos.
You
Real.
didn't ask me if I remembered what it was like. You asked me if I remembered what they were, which is the same joke.
Okay.
And finally, Jack, anything you'd like to show?
There's a link to my latest video.
Check it out, guys. As I've said before, I love Jack's videos. Your reviews are the greatest ones on the internet. They're you are far undersubbed, my friend.
That's what I keep telling myself.
It's what I just told you too. It's like we're the same person.
I know. It's awesome.
Oh, sorry. Real
Yes.
quick. If you guys haven't seen my most recent video, I did put out a video. 2 weeks ago now, but
There you go.
That was
I
good.
put that in chat too.
Oh, and I would like to show something on behalf of SDA. Can you hear this? Can you hear that? You hear that?
I got mine yesterday.
I got mine yesterday, and I'm going to read it tonight. That's her new book. Go get it, fuckers.
Crim Gate says, I want to say thank you for these live streams because it's great entertainment for my lonely graveyard shift. I'm happy to entertain, and hopefully it is entertaining. Tonight, we're going to be on my channel, 9 p.m. Eastern time for Lords of the Night. No game stream tonight, but if you want to catch the boys, that's where we'll be. So come hang out.
Monkey,
Thank you, chat. Go ahead.
Don't you also have a Patreon?
I do. There's a Patreon and a t-shirt store where for 2 more days, you can get the Monka-Lantern shirt if you're so
Monka-Lantern.
inclined. What's that?
Monka-Lantern. That's good.
Yeah, it is. It looks like a jack-o'-lantern, but it's my monkey face. You should check it out. It's got little glowy on it. It's cool.
I'm not buying that.
You're a dick.
Oh,
Chad,
shit. I
thanks.
got merch too.
You motherfucker.
Forgot.
Is there anything else you forgot?
No.
I'm going to start talking. He's going to interrupt again. Which I don't mind you interrupting. I just get your shilling out, damn it. This is why you should never leave before we actually end the show, because you don't know what's going to happen. Hey, SDA, can you do an audio version read by Worski? I can't read. Oh, my God. That would be awesome.
It's not going to be read by Worski, but we are working on getting a narrator for the audiobooks for Blackwoods now.
Oh, Mr.
So.
Moose says, I'm currently wearing my Monka-Lantern t-shirt right now. Good shirt. Cool. I'm glad you got it, and I hope you really do like it.
Reminded me, I have to go to Guitar Center.
Glad I reminded you of stuff.
I'm ending the show right now. Guys, thanks for
Okay.
coming and hanging out. SDA, Jack, Dax, and Sinatra. Thank you guys for joining me. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
This is where I sing.